Hello to everyone. In this video, let us discuss identifying the group number and period number of an element in periodic table and what is periodicity and some periodic properties. Okay, first let us see how to identify group number and period number of a given element in the periodic table. In that, two conditions are there. Of course, different conditions are there. The first condition, by using electronic configuration, how to identify the group number and period number. So if they have given some, which one here, configuration, what is the configuration? NSXNPY. If the configuration is given, this n value indicates period number. N value indicates which one? Period number. And that x plus y, sum of these two, that configuration indicates which one? Group number. And one more important thing, if in the outer configuration, if d orbitals are absent, so in the outer configuration only s and p subshells are there, no d subshell, then this obtained group number will become which one? A category. That means two types of groups are there now, A groups and B groups. But in the configuration, in the outer configuration, not in the middle, that is not important. In the outer configuration, if only S and P subshells are present, D subshell is absent, that element belongs to A category. So I will give one example here. One element is having 4s2 4p5 configuration. What is its period number and group number? So as per our description, this n value indicates which one? Period number. So this element belongs to fourth period, and x plus y value indicates group number. So 2 plus 5 means which one? 7. And here that we can write like this in Roman number 7th. As in the outer configuration, no D subshells, it belongs to which one? A category. That means here this element belongs to which one? 7th A group and 4th period. So by using this electronic configuration, we can answer like that. If in the outer configurations D subshell is there, that element is belongs to which one? B category. So we get one example here for that. Let us see what is that. For example, one element is having configuration argon 4s2 3d5. So now this we have to compare like ns2 n minus 1 d5. So n value indicates period number, not n minus 1 value. So here in place of n, 4 number is there. So this element also belongs to which period? Fourth period. And as it is group number means x plus y, 2 plus y means 7. But in the outer configuration D subshell is there. So this belongs to which group? Means 7th B group, not 7th A group. So with configuration, with electronic configuration, we have to identify the period and group number in this way. And sometimes they may not give electronic configuration. Instead of that, they give just which one? Atomic number. So to identify the group number and period number using atomic number, so we have to know the atomic numbers of 0 group elements, because we have to take them as the basis for the calculation of group number, period number of other elements. So now let us see 0 group elements. 0 group elements, extremely right side, right end of the periodic table. So in 0 group, what are the elements and atomic numbers? Helium 2, neon 10, argon 18, krypton 36, xenon 54, radon 86, and it is first period, second period, third period. These are which numbers means period numbers. And here this is fourth period, fifth period, then sixth period. After radon, if any other atomic number is there means we have to go for which one? Seventh period. So first we should know the atomic numbers of zero group elements. Based on that we can assume what is the group number, period number of some unknown elements. So now one question, what is the group number and period number of element with atomic number 34? So this question they have given. What is the period and group number of an element with atomic number 34? First check here that 34, this is the dead end of the periodic table. That means thereafter no other elements are present. So in this period the last element helium, here neon, here argon, here krypton. There are no other elements in that. So now we have to check it. 34 means this 34 atomic number is greater than 18, less than 36. That means in third period this element may not present, because in third period last element atomic number 18 only, and here in fourth period last element atomic number 36. That means Z atomic number, Z value 34, atomic number 34 means that element might present in fourth period, because after third period and within the fourth period. So now here this is element, this element belongs to which one? Fourth period, and we have to tell the group number also. So zero group, and prior to that which one? Seventh group and sixth group, like that are there. So we have to move in left side direction. Here 36 means seventh group element atomic number is 35, and here sixth group element atomic number 34. So now see here, Z of 34 means we have to come back 2 steps in backward. That means we have to come back 2 steps. That means this 34 belongs to which group means 6th A group. So like that, if atomic number is given based on atomic numbers of zero group elements, we have to estimate that present in which period and how many steps we have to move in left or right side direction. So now let us see another question here. What is that? What is the group number and period number of an element with Z value 37? Z value 37 means here atomic number, last atomic number 2, not here, not also here, not also here, not also here. But after 36, we have to go for 37. So this is the end of that period. Means 37 atomic number not present in fourth period. That might present in which one? Fifth period and in the starting position. So in starting of periodic table, which group is there means first A group. So this element belongs to first A group, and which period means fifth period, like that. But in that we have to remember 2 important cases. What are the 2 important cases means? One is regarding third B group elements. That means one is regarding lanthanides and actinides, and another one regarding transition triads. These 2 we have to remember a little bit. So first one regarding lanthanides and actinides, let us see here. If you consider periodic table, first A group, second A group are there, and here third B group, fourth B, so on, like that. Here eighth B group contains 3 subgroups. What are that? Known as transition triads. So now in third B, first element is scandium, second element is yttrium, and third element is lanthanum 57. But here cerium 58 to lutetium 71 all these elements also should belongs to which one? Third B group only. So we have to identify these atomic numbers. That means if 57, 58 to 71, any atomic number is given to identify the group number and period number. So we have to tell it that belongs to which one, means third B group. Of course, period number means easily we can tell, because after 54 these atomic numbers were coming across. So that means that belongs to which one, means here sixth period we can tell. But group number means third B only, for which lanthanum 57, cerium 58 to lutetium 71. And not only these, what are those? Again, next element is actinium 89, but thorium 92, lawrencium 103. All these elements present in third B group only. So now third B group contain total so many elements. So what are those elements here? So first here, this is which one? Scandium and 1 and yttrium 2, lanthanum and actinium. These four elements plus 14 plus 14, 28. 28 plus 4, 32 elements. That means third B group contains itself 32 elements, and also sixth period also contain 32 elements. So these we have to remember. And regarding this which one, transition triads also, we have to remember that if iron, cobalt, nickel, any element is given, what is its group number, means we have to tell it as 8th B group only. Not only iron, cobalt, nickel, iron, cobalt, nickel, ruthenium, rhodium, palladium, osmium, iridium, platinum. For all these elements, what is the group number, means we have to give the answer 8th B group only. So these are the methods to identify the group number and period number of elements in a periodic table. Okay, now let us see what are periodic properties and variation of periodic properties in a group and in a period. So first, let us see what is periodicity and periodic properties. So already once we discussed this, again I will explain here. For example, if you consider any one property like melting point, boiling point, or electronic configuration, in periodic table, the same property repeat at a regular intervals. The same property repeat in periodic table at regular intervals of, what are the regular intervals? 2, 8, 8, 18, 18, 32. At this regular intervals, the same property repeat again and again. So that trend of repetition at regular intervals is known as periodicity, and that type of properties are called periodic properties. For example, if you consider today is the Friday, let us take today Friday. After 6 days again we can get Friday. After 6 days again we can get Friday. Not 7 days, so 6 days. Count once. So for every 6 days, Friday is the repeating property. Like that, if any property repeat at regular intervals or at a fixed intervals, that property is called periodic property. That trend is called periodicity. So in the periodic table, in the periodic classification lesson, we have to discuss so many periodic properties. What are those? Atomic radius, ionization potential, and electropositivity, electronegativity, electron gain enthalpy, metallic and non-metallic nature, and which one, that oxidation states, and after that which one, valency, like that acidic and basic nature, like that. These are all called which one, periodic properties. Okay, now let us start atomic radius. What is atomic radius? What is the classification? and variation in a group and in a period. So let us see atomic radius. So what is the definition of atomic radius means? Let us consider the atom, and this is the nucleus, and this is the valency shell and electron cloud present in outermost shell. So now the distance between center of the nucleus to electron cloud present in outermost orbit is known as atomic radius, and it is measured in units of angstroms, nanometers, centimeters and meters. So these are the different units to measure which one atomic radius. Okay, now what are the types of atomic radius? Let us see what are the types of atomic radii. Okay, in that first one is which one here? Crystal radius, or this is also called metallic radius. So what is crystal radius? Let us see here. For example, if you consider any metal, in that all the metal atoms are closely packed to one another, that is called crystal system. So in a crystal system, now let it be the nucleus of one atom, another nucleus of another atom. This distance is called internuclear distance. The distance between two adjacent nuclei is known as internuclear distance. Now radius means up to here only we have to consider. So half of the internuclear distance between two adjacent atoms in a crystal lattice is known as crystal radius. Now example here, in case of sodium, that internuclear distance is 3.72 angstroms. Therefore, what is crystal radius? Means as per our description, half of this value, that means 3.72 by 2 means we can get 1.86 angstroms. So this is regarding which one? Crystal radius. Then another type of radius is what here? Covalent radius. So let us see what is covalent radius. So covalent radius means the atoms should bonded with which one? Covalent bond. So now what is the definition? See here. For example, if you consider two chlorine atoms, these two are bonded with a covalent bond. So like that overlapping takes place. Now here again we have to consider half of the distance. So half of the internuclear distance of two atoms bonded with covalent bond is known as which one? Covalent radius. That is known as covalent radius. In chlorine molecule, this internuclear distance, that internuclear distance is how much? Means 1.98 angstroms. Therefore, covalent radius equals to, so 1.98 by 2, 0.99 angstroms. So this is regarding which one? Covalent radius. Now let us go for the third type of radius, van der Waal radius. So what is van der Waal radius? See here. So for example, if you consider two chlorine molecules, so let it be the one chlorine molecule, let it be the another chlorine molecule. Now these two are held together by weak van der Waal forces, that too in solid state. In between these two molecules, weak van der Waal attractions are there in solid state. Now half of the internuclear distance of two different molecules held together by weak van der Waal attractions is known as van der Waal radius. So now this distance, half of this internuclear distance This distance is called which one? Van der Waal radius. And by observing the three radius, we come to know that among the three radii, this van der Waal radii is greater. So like that, what is the order of that radii means van der Waal radius greater than. Okay, let us write that order here. Van der Waal radius greater than, crystal radius greater than, covalent radius. So generally van der Waal radius is 40% greater than that of covalent radius. 40% greater than that of which one? Covalent radius. And one more important thing, in which case we have to measure van der Waal radius, especially in periodic table, means zero group elements. Why? Because zero group elements do not form covalent bond, and they are not coming in that crystal type of structures also. So due to the absence of covalent bond and due to the presence of weak van der Waal attractions, for zero group elements we have to calculate which radius means van der Waal radius. This we have to remember, because in a period from left to right, what happens atomic size we will see. But up to 7th A group, that atomic radius in a period decreases. But suddenly there is increase from 7th A group element to 8th A, that is zero group element. Why? Because for zero group elements we calculate van der Waal radius, but for a 7th A group up to that we calculate covalent radius. That's why only zero group element atomic radius greater than that of respective 7th A group element. That means here argon atomic radius greater than chlorine, because for argon we calculated van der Waal radius, but for chlorine we calculated covalent radius. So this is regarding which one? Types of atomic radii. Now let us see variation of atomic radii in a group and in a period. So first let us see that which one here? Variation of atomic radius in a group and in a period. So in a group from top to bottom, atomic radius increases, but in a period from left to right, atomic radius decreases. So why happen like this? Okay, we will continue our periodic table in next video. What is the reason for that decrease in atomic radius in a period and increase in atomic radius in a group? Okay, bye.